Hey everybody, Mac here, and we're going to talk about the greatest common factor and how to find them, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you right now that if you watch my videos on how to factor, I have different ways to show you how to do this without finding the greatest common factor. You really don't need to do this. However, it's very likely that maybe in your math class there's a whole section just on finding it. So I want to make sure that you see how to do this. And to find all my videos about math, you can find them at maxtutorials.com. And I have lots of videos to help you out. So let's just talk straight about the greatest common factor. Now, there's the number and there's the letter. You want to find something that will go into both of them, okay? So now on the exponents are really easy on the letters. What you're going to do is you're going to find the lowest one, okay? Because what do they both have in common? 1x. Okay, they don't have 2 in common. He only has one of them, so they don't have 2. They only have 1. So I know that whatever my number is, I'm going to come up with an x. But what's my greatest common factor between these? Now, hopefully you look and you can just see that it's 6. But what if you don't? Well, I'm going to break this down into 4 times 3. I'm going to break that down into 2 times 2. I'm going to break that into 9 times 2, and I'm going to break that into 3 times 3. Now what you're going to do, every time you see something common, cross it out and write it out. Well, there's a 3 and there's a 3, so I'm going to put a 3. There's a 2 and there's a 2, so I'm going to put a 2. And when you have more than one, you times them together. And then I have a 2 left and a 3 left, so my answer here is going to be whatever 3 times 2 is, which is 6, and don't forget the x. That's my greatest common factor. For number 2, let's go ahead and do the numbers first. I hope now some of these, I'm going to do that tree breakdown when it's not as obvious, okay? But if you look at this one, always look at the smallest number. Will 15 go into 25? No. Well, what's the next factor down of 15? It's going to be 5. Will 5 go into 25? Yeah, so it's going to be 5. And you're going to use the A, whatever the smallest one is. Okay, because there's 2 A's in both of these. There's not 3 A's in that one, so that's why you use the smaller one. Let's look at number 3. Will 8 go into 20? No. What's the next lowest factor of 8? It's 4. Will 4 go into 20? It will, so that's why it's 4m second. Always take the lowest exponent. Number 14. Will 14 go into 21? No. What's the next factor lower than 14? It's going to be 7. Will 7 go into 21? It will. 7y squared. Let's look at number 5. Will 9 go into 27? It will. So it's 9. Okay, p squared. Use the lowest exponent. So if the lowest number will go into the biggest, you win. Now, you always have to pick the lowest because you're not going to have something bigger than the biggest that's going to be common, right? So always start with the lower number. Will 16 go into 24? No. What's the next factor lower than 16? We'll cut it in half. It's 8. Will 8 go into 24? It will. So 8b and only the 1b is all you're going to do. Number 7, will 30 go into 45? No. So what's the next biggest factor? The way you find that out is you cut it in half. Well, what's half of 30? It would be 2. Oh, sorry, what's half of 30? That would be 15. Will 15 go into 45? It will. So it's going to be 15r squared. The next one, 22 go into 33? No. What's the next biggest factor? 11. Will 11 go into 33? Yes. 11k squared. Number 9, 18 and 42. Maybe we're at a point where we should break this down. Will 18 go into 42? Well, it won't, but what would it be? Watch what I'm going to do here. 9 times 2, 3 times 3. This one is going to be 7 times 6. And this is going to be 3 times 2. Okay, let's find our common. I have a 3 and I have a 3. I have a 3, no more 3s. I have a 2 and I have a 2. So my common factor is going to be 6, and you do the lowest exponent. And that's how I find it, okay? Number 10. I'm looking for the greatest common factor here. Well, 35, no. What's the next one? We can do all this. It's going to be 7, but if you're not sure, that's just 7 times 5. And this is just going to be 7 times 7. So pretty quickly, easy to see that that's the only thing you have in common. 7, and remember, you do the lowest exponent. All right, so number 11, between 28 and 63, this is going to be 7 times 4, and that's going to be 2 times 2. This is going to be 9 times 7, and this is going to be 3 times 3. What's in common? Just the 7s. So 7c squared is your greatest common factor. Number 12, I'm going to break this down into 4 times 10, 2 times 2, and this is going to be 5 times 2. Let's break down this other one. 7 times 8, 4 times 2, oops, circle that one, and 2 times 2. A little messy, sorry about that. Okay, well, there's a 2. There's another 2. There's another 2. And all that's left is a 5 and a 7, which aren't. So what's 2 times 2 times 2? That's an 8. N squared. You probably could have done the 8 without doing that and found it, but I want to show you the process that you know is going to work every time. 32 and 48. Well, will 32 go in the 48? No. Next down is 16. Will 16 go in the 48? It actually will. It'll go in 3 times. Ooh, sorry about that. So it's going to be 16Q. Now, you probably immediately saw 8, right? And so you might pull out the 8. That's fine, but it's not the greatest common factor. And so if you didn't see 16, that's why this method, like I did right here, by bringing them down to their primes, that's going to for sure work. So if you're a little sketchy on your multiplication stuff and finding that out, that way is going to get it to you every time, all right? Now on this one, 50 won't go in the 75. If I cut 50 in half, it's 25. That'll go in, so it's going to be 25W squared. Going on, 27 and 45. Well, the first thing I think of is 9. 27 won't go in the 45. Half of 27 won't go in the 45. So my next one would be 3. 3 times 9. 9 goes in the 45. So it's going to be 9D squared. Okay, number 16. Well, I see 6. Will something bigger than 6 go in? Well, I don't know. Let's see. The answer is yes, but that's okay. I'm going to go 3 times 12. I'm going to go 6 times 2. You know what? I'm not going to break down the 6, and I'll show you why. This can be 6 times 10. Look at that. Doesn't always have to be the lowest, but it's a match. So I can see right now that a 6, I can already pull out a 6. But I still got to break down that 10, right? Do I have anything else that matches? Yeah, look at those 2s. 6 times 2. Nothing else matches, so I'm left with 12h cubed. That would be my answer. If you put out 6, you would get that answer wrong. Okay, number 17, 44, won't go in the 66, but 11 will. 11j squared. Okay, number 18, I see that 9 will go in, but will something bigger than 9? Once I see that it's 9, here's also a shortcut you can do. This is 9 times 8, and this is 9 times 10. I already see that 9 is a common, even though I could break it down. I'm just going to pull out a 9 already. 9 could be the answer, but is there more? Well, that's going to be 4 times 2. That's going to be 5 times 2. Hey, look at that. Boom, boom. I can do it too. Now I can break down 4 to 2 and 2 if I want, but I don't have any more matches. So what's 9 times 2? It's 18v cubed. Did you see how I did that one? That was a little bit of a shortcut, but I want to show you the best I can on this. This one, I'm just going to go 9 times 9 to start, but I'm not going to break it down any further. I'm going to break this one down. If I pull out a 9, 9 goes into 10 once with 1 left over. 9 goes into 18 twice. Do you see that I already have a match? So I don't need to break it down. Once I see a match, I pull it out. Now, I got to keep going because there might be more. 3 times 3, and this is 4 times 3, and this is 2 times 2. Always good to circle these, okay? And look at this. Boom, boom. There's another 3. So what's my greatest common factor? 27. And that's a z squared. Oh, z's and 2's together. I hate that. All right, but see how I got to the 27? And now this one is going to be, I have an 8 times 3. I'm not going to do anything with that 8 just yet. 54 is going to be a 9 times 6. All right, let's keep it going. This is going to be a 4 times 2. This is going to be a 2 times 2. I just slowed down a little bit in case there was a bigger number, but I'm not seeing it. 3 times 3, and this is going to be a 3 times 2. All right, let's start pulling out our matches. 3, 3. Let's pull out another match. 2, 2. Is there another match? I have a 2, a 2, a 3, and a 3. That's it. So what's my common? 6f squared. And that is my final answer. All right, so there it is. Now, some of these, when the numbers are small, you can usually find it in your head. But as they get bigger, that's the process. That's what you do. You just start breaking down the numbers, and you start finding pairs, and you pull them out. Okay? So I hope that helped you. If you want some more practice, I'll see you on version B.